What's up YouTube, Dan here and welcome to my episode 3 of my Serie A team of the season predictions. So last episode what I did the Bundesliga, and the episode before that I did the Barclays Premier League, and I'm doing the same kind of layout that I did with the Barclays Premier League, so I hope you enjoy it and tell me what layout you like more, because in the last episode, which was my Bundesliga, I did use the footwiz.com website, and there will be a link as always in the description. So moving on to the Serie A team of the season, haven't actually got any stats, I didn't really bother with it. Don't really want to go into too much detail, but the first player in this team has got to be Gianluigi Buffon. I always struggle saying that name, but he plays for Juventus, obviously being one of the best players or best goalkeepers ever. So I've upgraded his stats by 5, obviously his rating, and so he's gone up from an 87 to a 92, and I'm guessing he'll be priced around maybe the 500k mark because he's so good, but not as good as Casillas and Manuel Neuer, who will probably be in the team this season. So the next player is De Sigli. He was in my AC Milan career mode. You might remember him, he got to around the 85 mark, but enough about career mode, just on about Ultimate Team. So he's really caught the eye this year. He's only 19 years old, doing so well for AC Milan and replacing Cafu. You might remember him, the Brazilian right back. So they've got a new replacement here, and he does play on the left as well. Abate is normally the first choice right back, so it's really good that De Sigli plays on the left, and he's really young, has a long future ahead of him, and hopefully he can do really well for AC Milan. So the next player is Bonucci, plays for Juventus in Italian. You might be thinking, where's Chiellini? But he's been injured most of the season. I have watched a couple of Serie A predictions, and I don't watch the Serie A too much, but I do watch it sometimes. But my favourite league is probably the Bundesliga and the BPL, or the Barclays Premier League, you might know it as, or the English Premier League. And I do like the Liga BBVA, and that'll probably be the next episode. Then I'll move on to some other teams, and you can tell me what to do in the comment section. So just leave your comment. What do you think? Who do you think should be in the team this season? But this is in my opinion, so just stick with it and tell me what you think should be in the team this season. So the next player is Barzagli. So he was currently rated an 84, and I've actually upgraded him to an 89, so +5. I think that's what they will be in the team this season. And those the Liga BBVA is +6, but I think the Serie A will be 89, or Barzagli will be 89. You can't imagine him being a 90+. So the left centre back, or the centre back, had to kind of compromise there, because I know Juan is a centre back, but in the game up against Tottenham, I noticed that he was playing more to the left side, so that's why I've kind of had to compromise there, because I could have played De Sigli at left back and maybe had Constant or Abate at right back. I don't know about that, but Juan went for I kind of had to compromise, as I said. So he's at the centre back, 79 rated, but I think he'll be quite highly rated on the next game. I've only up to upgrade him +5, and I don't really agree that he's a silver card at the moment. He has a really good season. He's still really young, and he's the future of Brazil. Can you imagine him and David Luiz? So moving on to the more interesting side of things. So we're moving on into the centre defensive midfielders, and the first player has to be Inler. So you might see him in Napoli, and currently Napoli is second in the league, and you can see on the right side of things in this team it's a 4-2-2-2 formation. I think that's what the team will be. So Inler is the 86 rated, so he's gone up from an 81. He has had 1 or 2 informs, I can't quite remember, so he's done really well for Napoli this year. So the second centre defensive midfielder has to be Pirlo, so I've upgraded him from an 87 to a 92. He was actually voted player of the season, or player of the year I think it was, so that's from 2012 to 2013, and he did really well at the Euro 2012, or the whatever you like to call it. So really well for Italy, really well for Juventus, that's why they've had such a successful year. So moving on to the Napoli, and it's a bit more Napoli at the moment, so it's 90 rated Hamsik, so he goes up from an 85. He has had 2 informs, so clearly he deserves a team this season. So 90 rated, going to have some fantastic stats, and it's going to be worth around 500k. So on the left centre attacking midfielder, or left attacking midfielder, we do have El Shaarawy, gone up from an 81 to an 86, and I based that on his 81 rated card, and I had to kind of play him as a centre attacking midfielder, and I know he's more suited to the left side of things, but in the end I had to make him a centre attacking midfielder, and sometimes he does actually like to drift inside and then play with Balotelli, and that's why in AC Milan have had a really good start to the second part to the season. So moving on to our 2 strikers, and they're the 2 top scorers at the moment. So the first one is Di Natale, has had 2 informs this year, so definitely deserves that team this season. So he will be rated 90, so he's gone up from an 85 to a 90. Italian, plays for Udinese, done a fantastic job for Udinese this year, and the weird thing is he's 35 years old and he's still got a lot of pace. The stats on FIFA really don't lie, and his stats are going to be so good on this team this season, which is definitely on the cards because he scored so many goals this season. And the other top scorer has got to be Cavani, so another Napoli player, the third player. I think that's the third player. Just got a quick question you can add in the comment section. I will post a comment in the comment section. So what team do you think Cavani will leave to go to? Because I think it might be Barcelona. maybe even Arsenal. I think they stand a chance, but I think in the end he'll go to Barcelona. Imagine him and Messi up front, so you can imagine that, and I think how many goals they would score. So 91 rated Cavani, top scorer at the Serie A at the moment as I'm recording this. So 91 rated, he'll cost a bomb, he'll cost around 1 million coins, and the same story with Di Natale. So moving on to the last part of this episode, I know a lot of you have been saying, definitely on my first episode, which was my Barclays Premier League, that you want me to include substitutes, so that's definitely going to happen. So let's move on to the substitutes. So these are players who have just performed as well, but just didn't make the cut in this team, and in my opinion, for players like Marquisio, I think Inler and Pirlo have done a bit of a better job this season. So next player is TOTY, 84 rated, and he has had a really good season, did have an inform, and that was a 79 rated, I think it was, maybe 80. But then the next player is Cusano, 85 to 90, plays for Inter Milan, really creative centre forward. Next player is Lamela. Tell me what team you think he'll go to. That's the second AS Roma player on the substitutes. Unfortunately, AS Roma didn't get any players on the first team, but you can tell me in the comment section what you think of that. And the last two players are strikers, Balotelli, 89 rated. Since he arrived at AC Milan, had a massive impact, and him and El Shaarawy have done so good together. But in my opinion, this is the same story with Jovetic, but Di Natale and Cavani have scored more goals. I think Balotelli may have been in the first team, but you never really know if he joined AC Milan at the start of the season. So leave a like if you've enjoyed. Please subscribe for more FIFA content. We're nearly at 500 subs, so I'd like to say thanks for that. So this is the third episode. The fourth episode will be the Liga BBVA. So thanks for watching. Hopefully you subscribe, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.